Hello and welcome back to more Dragon's Den 3D Return to the Lair, where last time we faced off against the Smithy King and obtained our final Dragon's Essence, the Dragon Flame, which means that now we can permanently equip a Flame Sword. But as you can see, it will drain our mana quite significantly, and when you stack that on top of all the other essences that we have available to us, yeah, mana management is going to become very essential, especially because we don't have that many mana potions left. But we're gonna use the...
Find a fire to light your way.
I technically don't need to find a fire to light my way because I have the path of this place memorized, but it's still better safe than sorry. Because otherwise, as you can see, there is a path here,
Burned out torch.
but without either knowing what the path looks like ahead of time, or without a flame sword to light your way, you're not going to be able to find your way through it. But once you reach one of these torches, you want to light it with your flame sword so that it reveals a little bit more of the path. And do I have enough arrows to... Yeah, I'll use some arrows against big old spider boy over there, so I don't want to run the risk of losing even more health than I already have. And I don't have to do this because, technically speaking, the next place we have to go is through this door. That's where we need to go to reach the next section of the game. But I am going to come over here real quick, just so I can clear the path for later. So we're going to fly across the gap with our dragon wing. You'll know you're safe to drop down when the camera changes like that. When the camera changes like that, that means that there is ground beneath you and you're safe to drop. So, we're going to quickly light the torch with the flame sword. And it'll even take out this Gideon, who's having a bit of a dance party. And the one behind him. Just so the path is set for when we come back here. I mean, we could have killed these guys after we get the thing we need from this section of the castle. But I figured I'd clear them out early just so that we don't have to worry about it later. Now then. Welcome to the Lair of Thorns, which is a name that pretty much speaks for itself, I'm gonna be honest. It's a... Thanks, Daphne. Watch out for thorns. The name of the level being Lair of Thorns would never have given that away. And as you could probably guess, that certain element in question is the element which we just obtained from our most recent excavation, or expedition rather, into the smithy chambers of the castle. And if for some reason you don't have enough mana to activate your, I'm getting mixed around. If you don't have enough mana to activate the flame sword, you do always have this right here that you can use to set fire to your sword. I shouldn't need to do that because I think I've gotten pretty adept at mana management, but still. Yeah, as you can see, basically nothing can stop us now. So long as you have the fire sword equipped, no enemy can knock you down. But you also need to make sure that you don't waste your mana, because we do need it to be able to use the dragon wing, dragon eye, and the dragon scale, and the dragon spirit for certain battles. So I'm going to activate these barrels, just so I don't accidentally trigger them at any point later down the line, and then boop, boop. It's very satisfying to finally be able to just steamroll through everything after having come so far in the castle with the power of the dragon flame. But I don't want to use it here because trying to fight with the sword on that moving walkway is kind of a bad idea. So, hi there, buddy. Actually, I can probably use it against you now because you're close enough. But stepping onto those moving conveyor belts, while trying to use the sword is not a great idea. It's better to stick back here and use the crossbow to shoot him down from range. And then you just run across, stick towards the middle of the conveyor belt, try to move in the opposite direction that it's pushing you to resist the force and stay away from the thorns, because if you I don't want to test it because I'm already kind of not doing too hot on health, but if you rest against those thorns, they will shred your health extremely quickly, so best to steer towards the middle and stay far, far away from them. Hey guys, I didn't want to, okay, I already had the dragon's flame equipped, but I forgot that I already had it equipped, so I tried to reactivate it, and in my panic I ended up switching to something else I didn't need. Now this is neat. We got a key from that room, so you'd assume the door's gonna open up, right? Nah, something else is gonna happen. And there's no real reason for that to happen, but it's just funny you expect the door's gonna open like every other door in this game, and then the frame just falls back behind it. It's kind of cool. All right. Now then, there are some arrows there. You do not want those arrows, as it's pretty clear that those 6 holes in the wall are going to blast gas upon you, blast toxic fumigated gas into your face, which you really don't want to deal with. And yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, the elements that the thorns are weak to is, of course, fire. So, hi! As long as you have a fire sword, there's not much that they can do to stop you. Now, this is easy to miss. If you attack this little circle in the wall, it'll go flush with the wall and reveal a heart container. Which is pretty cool. Hi there, good lord almighty. Okay, let me just take you out real quick. And it's a good thing there's a health container here because we were in serious need of health. Serious need of health. So that's why I didn't bother using any of my health containers along the way because I knew we were going to be stumbling upon that. Here's Rolling Balls 2.0. Don't worry, it's much easier than the last one because there's no giant bowling ball behind you that's trying to flatten you. So just, if you get hit by them, it's not the end of the world. They aren't going to deal too much damage to you. As you can see right there, they really don't. Nowhere near as threatening as the major Rolling Balls, but you still want to try to avoid taking damage if you can. Also, treasure right there. That's the first of 3 treasures that's in this level, and it's definitely the, well, I was going to say easiest to find, but it's also pretty easy to miss, just because it's tucked away in the corner right here, and the way you're supposed to go is down in this direction. So, pretty easy to miss that if you're just kind of rushing through and not paying super close attention. I can definitely see people missing that quite easily. Now, we once again need a key to open up the door, and we're going to find that here, because if we activate our Dragon Eye, as the wall indicates, there's a secret passage back here, and we are given 1 blue key. And one of these doors has the key that we're looking for. The others do not, but, so the way you want to do this, if you use the Dragon Eye, you can see that there's actually a secret room hidden back there, whereas the same is not revealed for any of these. That is because this is the door behind which you can find the key that we need. But there's also a green key right here.
Green key to open this door.
Gee, Daphne, I never would have guessed that. So, where do you find the green key?
The blue keys.
You find it in this middle doorway. So if you want the collectible, which is the diamond in this case, you can open up the middle door, grab the green key, take out the dragon ling, like that, then open up the green door to get yourself another blue key so you can open the real door that you need and get a collectible along the way. Nice and simple. No, I have seen people get stuck here for quite a bit because a lot of people think that this is just trial and error, but it's not really. So long as you use the tools that the game gives you and that it encourages you to use, as is shown on the wall right here, it's actually not that bad. It's got to know what you're doing. And we are now about to meet a whole barrage of things trying to kill us, featuring some thorns right here. I didn't mean to bump into you right there. Another one pops up right here. So take them out, grab the goblet around this corner, and then run up the hill so they don't spawn behind you. Now here, very important, stick to the right side of the area. Do not go to the left. That hand will grab you, and it will not be fun. It will not be a fun time to try to escape that if you get caught by him. Now, we're going to have to make a break for it here because, hi there, pals. Let's get the thing I want out. What you're going to see happen is after we hit the switch, the gate opens. But it only stays open for about 30 seconds. So, if I can hit the skitty goon, thank you. We got to run for the hills. We don't have a lot of time to make it back there. Well, I say that. You do have plenty of time to make it from point A to point B. It just depends on how efficient you are. A 100% optimized route from point A to point B will give you plenty of time to spare. But as you can see, I kind of trailed behind a little bit because I got stuck up with that giddy goon back there. So I made it with only 7 seconds to spare, as opposed to the plus 10 seconds I could have had I been just a little bit more efficient. Yeah, neat little section. Now on to the next level. I didn't mention this. This is actually one of the shortest, I think it might be the shortest section of the game. And as I mentioned earlier, I define sections by the point in which you get a new collectible or a new ability. So I consider the bell towers where we fought the Bat King a section, and we got the Dragon Wing, Dragon Spirit, those are the cryptic hallways. Dragon Eye would be the sewers, Dragon Scale would be the chunk from the Lizard King to fighting Hollow, and the Dragon Fire would be the lava domain through the Smithy section. So this section where I haven't actually revealed what we're going to get as our next ability because I want to keep it a bit of a surprise because it has some greater implications than all of these combined for more reasons than one. So this section is definitely the shortest because it's the level we just played, that being the Lair of Thorns, which is admittedly a pretty long level. This level, which is called Pits and Perils, and then immediately after this, we go fight the boss. So I don't know. I'll probably play this section after this in this video as well, because otherwise, I guess it depends on how long the boss takes, but we'll see. We'll see. It just Point being, it's a pretty lengthy section, or sorry, pretty short section, so I don't want the video to go on for, I don't want the video to be too short. Hey, buddy. Goodbye. Nice knowing you. Also, you may have noticed that for every one of these thorns we've been taking out, we've been getting a whole lot of flame arrows, so a great way to farm flame arrows is just to take those guys out, and you may notice that they respawn after a certain amount of time. Not all of them, some of them, a decent chunk of them will respawn after a certain amount of time, so if you just wait for them to respawn and then take them out again with your flame sword, you can grind out flame arrows pretty easily. I'm gonna equip the Dragon Wings here in case I missed this jump, which I didn't. But I did fall off the edge, so I probably should have activated Dragon Wings anyway. Give me the treasure. Cool. And I'm actually going to keep my Dragon Wings equipped so I can fly over there, because we need to fly over the gap anyway. But you want to stay as high up as possible, because if you run down that hallway, you will get grabbed by the hand out of the wall. So you want to stay as close to the ceiling as you can to fly over it. And we're actually kind of running low on mana here, so I'm going to need to... I think we should have enough to take these guys out on Dragon Flame, and then it's time to drink ourselves a mana potion. We're running kind of low on them, but it's alright. And we are going to get a mana container here pretty shortly. I just need enough mana to be able to tide me over from now until then, so that we can get ourselves a mana container. And hi, bats, 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 bats. That's a lot of bats. Goodbye, all of you. Yeah, a lot of... It's easy. Bats can be easily mistaken in this game as not even really being enemies. It's more like NPCs because they just kind of float through the air. They float through the air and don't really actively attack you. Except right there. That one specific spot is when they just launch a whole wave of bats at you and then never again. It's kind of strange. Alright, so this right here, you want to wait for the Gidigoon to fire an arrow and then immediately fly across the gap. You do not want him firing an arrow while you're midair. That is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. And then 2 flame arrow shots should take him down, and at this point, you should have more than enough flame arrows to where that won't be a concern for you at all. And you could camp here if you want to use the crossbow against him, but more fun to just mop him up like that. Now this section, just run like hell. Run like the wind, because the walls are closing in on you, and if you stick around for too long, you will get crushed to death. Oh! I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I don't know if the Dragonling killed the Gidigoon or what, but... oh well. Hey look, an eye on the wall. But before we use the Dragon Eye, we're going to use the Dragon Spirit to restore as much health as we possibly can. Because I know what's behind that wall. And what's behind that wall is going to be a mana container to restore our mana up to full. So our health is at full, our mana is at full. And now I'm going to save right here, because I don't trust myself. And then equip the Dragon Wings as a failsafe plan. And then leap across the ropes. This is... definitely a lot harder than the first rope swinging challenge, because they're much grander jumps to make, and there's obviously falling blocks from the ceiling that can throw you off guard, but still not too bad. It's all about timing. It's about knowing the perfect time to use the momentum to your advantage to jump across the gap. Now, in these barrels, we have lots and lots of health potions and mana potions, and also some flame arrows. And that is, of course, because on the other side of this door is a boss fight. So let's go take him on. The only essence you need for this boss fight is the Dragon Flame. Nothing else. The Dragon Wing... I've seen some comments saying you can use Dragon Wings to fly over the spinning batons, and you can, technically. The problem is that the way this boss works, you're under a time crunch. You have to get across the swinging batons and get a hit on the... hi! Forgot about that. Forgot that if you take too long, the thorns appear. If you're too slow, then the boss will disappear and you'll miss a chance to hit him, so... Dragon Wings off the table. Dragon Spirit, as a last resort, if you need health, you can use that. Dragon Eye, don't need that. Dragon Skill, don't need that because there's no hidden walls and there's no fire. But Dragon Flame, you want that equipped at all times because it's only going to be thorns that you're dealing with. So just keep it equipped at all times and only take a sword out if you absolutely need to. And this right here, if he tosses a blue thing at you, then you need to roll underneath it. If he tosses a yellow thing at you, you need to jump above it. As for these things, you can pretty easily jump over them and kind of move with their patterns to get around them. So, like, right here, I can move. As the right one swings towards me, I can move like this and then jump at the last second so it doesn't hit me. And time to jump over this, because yellow means jump. Goodbye. Give me those arrows. Oh, my God. And as you can see, the path is changing rapidly beneath me every time I hit him. So, by the time I hit him enough times, the floor will be almost entirely gone, and there'll be way more batons than there were originally, but it's all about timing. So, okay. I messed that up badly. Messed that up real bad. It's all about timing. It's all about waiting. Because until you cross, like, that point right back there, until you make the last jump across these blocks, you have all the time in the world to wait to get the timing down to move between these batons. Sometimes a thorn will spawn in the middle, so you don't have, like, I guess you don't have infinite amounts of time, but you have enough time to where you can reasonably plan out your jump, or plan out your movement, rather. So, my chance is going to be now, and then jump. Yeah, it's all about looking at the batons, the spinning batons, rather, and then figuring out, based on that, when your best chance to move around them is. And my best opportunity is to wait for them to swing towards me, and then, okay, took too long, wait for them both to swing towards me, and then jump over them as they come around at the last possible second, roll underneath the last one, and it's over. I guess Daphne's audio didn't play there for a second. Yeah, her dialogue's supposed to play there, but no, the magic arrow. I mean, be careful of that weapon, Dirk. It's cursed. With the magic arrow, I was reading that. Okay, let me open up the chat log. With the magic arrow, Dirk can penetrate mystical barriers and defeat monsters with one shot. However, Dirk can only hold one magic arrow at a time. There is nothing in this game that cannot be defeated in a single shot with the magic arrow. But as the game said, you only get one. So you don't want to waste it. You do not want to waste the magic arrow, and you may have heard that, well, I guess you didn't hear because Daphne didn't say anything, so it kind of cheapens the impact, but if you actually heard her dialogue, Daphne sounded kind of nervous, you might even say afraid of the magic arrow, so something to keep in mind when considering when we want to...
The thorn key! Now you can enter the wizard's...
When we want to wait to use this. Alright, we've been going for about 20 minutes. I think I should have enough time to get through the wizard's lair. Because the wizard's lair is the final section of the game before the final battle. So I might, depending on how well I play, I might be able to absolutely steamroll through these final few levels. And yeah, you don't even... Remember, earlier I used the dragon's wing to get across this gap. You don't need to, but before the path is fully lit up, I don't want to take my chances. I want to play it safe and float across the gap in case I miss. Because part of platforming is being able to, see where you're jumping. And if you can't see that, it gets a little tougher. I like to think that I have this memorized enough to where I kind of know the timing like the back of my hand, but I didn't want to risk it for the video, so. And as you can see, because we cleared out all the enemies earlier, we have just a straight shot to get here and use the key to open the grand door to the wizard's lair, which is the final set of levels that we can take on in this game, which will require the use of all of our essences, probably the last few of our potions, all of our arrows, our weapons, everything we have, everything we've learned. It's all going to be put to the test in this final level gauntlet. Let's go.
The wizard will stop at nothing to keep you from me. You will need to use everything in your possession to get through these traps.
Hey, that's what I just said. And to start out with, we're going to use the dragon's wing. So, Jack, just to play, I'm going to use a mana potion just because I don't trust it. I want to make sure I have enough mana to get to the bottom of this without falling to my death. So, as soon as you jump off, immediately float with the dragon's wing, and you want to go down bit by bit. You can't just drop straight down to the bottom without taking breaks because the fall damage will kill you. Or I guess drop distance will kill you. You just want to drop in pieces or in sections, bit by bit, a little bit at a time, so that the goal is to get between the closing doors of doom, in time. So that's each checkpoint you should mark for yourself, essentially, in terms of the point you should try to reach, is getting through the closing doors, up there. So each of those doors that close, you want to be between them when you stop to hover for a bit. And obviously, if you drop all the way down, you won't survive because the drop time will kill you. Now here, I'm going to save again because I do not trust myself. We're going to activate the dragon scale, and so long as, if you don't have this on, the atmosphere here will burn you alive like the lava domain earlier. But even with the dragon scale, that's lava that's jumping out at you, and as you saw, or as Daphne said, lava will kill you instantly like that. So you don't want that to happen, so you need to move between the lava as it fires at you. And you should be safe enough to move just bit by bit. I'm pretty sure you can do this by just running to the exit. If your timing is, like, if you just book it and run straight to the exit without even worrying about your timing, I think you'll make it. But that's also a lot riskier because if you're even slightly off and you miss the pattern, then you will die immediately. So it's a lot safer to just go, to stop and go between the, between the lava balls to get shot up at you. Now, again, there you want to use the Dragon's Wing to float down that shaft and get around all the streaks of fire, but as soon as you reach this section, like as soon as you leave the last fire trail and jump down here, the atmosphere is a lot more toxic and fiery than before, which means you need to equip the dragon scale so you don't burn alive. And you can probably already tell that while I may have made that look easy, it's decidedly not. Already we've had to alternate between the Dragon's Wing and Scale quite a bit in order to get through that room. And now we have the Metal Madness room. This absolute mammoth of a room with platforms moving all over the place in every direction. And this can be confusing. No toys about it. This can be a very confusing room if you don't know where you're going. But fear not, I am here to provide you the safe route to get through this room in one piece and get all the treasures that you can find along the way. Alright, so I'm gonna equip the crossbow here, because 2 of those electric dragonlings will spawn in right about now. And I just want to keep them away from me as much as possible. Also, I want to keep the dragon scale equipped so that the fireballs that are coming down the shaft don't... Oh! Alright, so that's on me. That's on me. I accidentally pressed a button on my mouse to equip the magic arrow by mistake. Because I have the Razer Naga Chroma, which means I have not sponsored, which means I have buttons on the side that I can use. I accidentally hit one of them. I use those for hotkeys while editing, and I forgot to change the profile for this video. And in doing so, I accidentally hit one of the buttons to switch my arrow type. But I guess it gave me a chance to show off that if you accidentally use a magic arrow, it's not the end of the world, because, spoiler alert, you kind of need it for the end of this game. Daphne wasn't exactly subtle about it, but you do need those arrows in order to beat this game. It's essential to the final act. So, if you accidentally use them, the game understands that you need it for the final battle, and it's very generous in that if you use it to kill an enemy before that point, it will automatically replace it by having the loot that enemy drops be the magic arrow. So the game is very kind like that. But yeah, so it's not essential that you hold on to it until the final act, but it's certainly helpful so that you don't have to go through the trouble of waiting for an enemy to drop it. Now, there's 2 ways you can go here, left or right. The answer is you go left. There is a place you can go to the right, and you can make it up there from there, but it's a lot more efficient to go this way. That's the cool thing. I'm not going to show you, I haven't shown you every route that you can take just in the castle in general. There's a lot of cool secret passages and hidden ways you can navigate the levels that I haven't shown off yet. So if you want to play the game for yourself and check some of those out, then you are more than welcome to. I was unsure if I was going to make that jump. I didn't think my positioning was that great, but it turns out I made it anyway. Also, you want to keep the dragon scale on for this runaway so the fireballs don't burn you, but as soon as you reach the end, switch to the dragon flame and then leap across the gap to fly across. Now, as soon as you land, equip the crossbow and get ready to use your flame arrows to blast these people back. And if you're lucky, you can actually knock them into the things back there, because these things, here, I'll save real quick and just show you this. If you run into these things, you die immediately. But the same is true for the enemy, so much like the sliding block in the bell or before the bell towers with the Giddy Goons in the spiral stairs room, you can knock the enemies into dynamic map elements and kill them immediately, which is pretty neat, I must admit. I like the things about that. I like those things about this game quite a bit. And yeah, there's plenty of hidden ways you can go in this level. I'm just showing you the route that I always take and what I believe to be the most efficient route through. So, just something to keep in mind if you want to play this game for yourself. Now, here's what we need to do. There's a way we can go back down there, and I think this is the way the game wants you to go in order to fight a bunch of gargoyles. But we're not going to do that, because we have treasures to collect. So, after collecting that mana ball down there, meaning that your mana should be close to, or either entirely full or close to being entirely full, you want to switch to the Dragon Wing, and then fly yourself across this gap. If your mana is fully charged up, you should have enough to be able to make it across. Also, don't grab that chain beneath that platform. It's a trap. Don't grab onto it. You want to land on top of this little wooden peg to grab yourself a diamond. If you feel uncomfortable with your current amount of mana, you can drink a mana potion. I'm not going to, because I want to save my mana, because I only have one of these potions left and we're really going to need them. So I'm just going to fly across the gap. If you want to, then you can fly back from here and then go walk along that way to fight a bunch of gargoyles, like a whole gauntlet of gargoyles that spawn in that little cage section, but we're not going to do that. We can just fly our way over here. And I guess that's another route that you can take I didn't show off in this video if you want to play the game for yourself. Alright, flame arrows. You're going to need them. Trust me. Grab those flame arrows, pull out the crossbow, pull out the flame arrows, and start shooting down the dragonlings that spawn in. As you can see, there's 3 tiers of dragonlings. The green ones, the orange ones, and the electric black dragons that spawn in right here. These are the toughest. They take, even with flame arrows, they still take a pretty significant amount of hits to go down. But by this point, because we've grinded up so many flame arrows from the thorns, you should have more than enough to take them down. Just make sure you stay far away from their electric breath, because it will light you up if you do. Also, as you can see, the platforms below me are kind of falling out beneath my feet as I'm killing. For each dragonling you kill, another piece of the floor gets moved away. Now you might think, why are you still standing here? You should move over there. And I will once the last one drops. Once the last one of these platforms drops, which is going to be right now, then I'm going to fly over here. But you need to wait for them to all drop out beneath you so that you can, the two of them will spawn over there, and then you can go up those stairs to grab yourself a treasure. But be warned, because as soon as you do that, some Giddy Goons are going to spawn in. So as soon as they do, just shoot them all down with your flame arrow as quickly as you possibly can, and then run up the stairs so that they can't shoot you while you're flying. The biggest risk is that they're going to shoot you while you're flying, but if you're quick enough, that won't happen. Then you can just head right on out of the room, grab some potions along the way if you need them, which we very well might. And now this room can be somewhat frustrating to get through, because it's honestly probably even harder than the regular rolling ball challenge, in that not only are there balls you have to worry about, but there's giant balls of electricity that are just tearing through the air, and those electricity balls are instant kills if they touch you, so you want to stay to the sides of the area as much as you possibly can. Just don't even bother going down the middle unless there's a clear shot between here and the next one. Just kind of zigzag back and forth from side to side, taking out all, ignoring just, really, if you get hit by the ball, it's not the end of the world. So I can use the dragon spirit to heal myself up afterwards. And also that is a whole lot of dragonlings that spawned in behind me. Actually, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this. Dragon flame, take the whirlwind sword attack. And they all die immediately. Perfection is what that is. I haven't gotten to show off the whirlwind sword attack with the dragon flame equipped all that much, but that was a perfect chance, because I think I would have burned through too many arrows if I used the crossbow to take all of them out. But yeah, my tip for that section, zigzag from left to right, never go down the middle when there's an electric ball heading your way. Okay, now this section, I feel like I say this a lot, but this can be tough, because as you see, that's a lot of disappearing platforms. It looks like you have a massive platform to stand on, but you don't. They will, a large percentage of the floor will disappear beneath you as soon as you step on here. So, what we're going to do is still use our crossbow. I think we have enough arrows at this point to take them down. I didn't mean to do that, but you should drop a magic arrow for me, so it's fine. Yeah, so, if you count really closely, what you'll see is that it's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. It's about 4 seconds between each thing. So as soon as they spawn back in, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's the point when you need to know. At 4 seconds is when you know, I can no longer stay here, I must go. Also, this is extremely risky. I should not have tried to fly here while there were still dragonlings behind me, because if they hit you with their electricity while you're in midair, you're gonna fall to your death, and there's nothing you can do about that. So, oh my god. I almost fell to my death right there, honestly. Are you close enough for me to hit you with my sword? You are kind of, okay, that's one. Oh, no, okay, that's on me. That's on me. I got a bit too. I should have just used the crossbow for the last one. Made the same mistake twice. Okay, that worked. That probably shouldn't have worked. I baited them into flying close to me up above, and then I dropped down to the last second. Okay, a great indicator to see whether, if you don't have all the safe spots memorized like I do, then a great indicator to see if you're safe to stand, or if you're safe to stand on it, is if there's an item standing on it. Like if there's a health orb or a mana orb or an arrow or something. Because if there's anything standing on it, then you know you're safe to also stand on it. And that's that. Also, you may notice that there are 3 magic arrows that have just been dropped, because, like I said, the game is very generous with giving you magic arrows if you lose one. However, If you're thinking you can exploit the system, you can't, because as soon as you grab one, the rest of them disappear. So they've programmed that little safety net in there to make sure that you can't do that. Now, as you can see, I'm running a bit low on mana, but that's fine, because I only needed it to be able to get back here and grab this crown, which is the final treasure in the game. You go to the 2 left sides of the area, grab the crowns on the left and right, and that's it. That is 100% of the treasures in Dragon's Lair 3D Return to the Lair collected, and that's about the last of the mana that we'll need for this section. I mean, I'll grab some of this anyway, just to be safe, in case I need to save myself. Which I don't. Okay, so my straight shot is to go. My plan is to go diagonally in this direction, and then there should be a straight shot. Had a little bit of a lag spike there, but it's all right. And I keep accidentally. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop equipping because it's my instinct to when I have the crossbow out to press the C button instead of the X button. I have X and C are the buttons I use to switch between arrows, and when I do that normally, it just equips the flame arrow, because for 99% of the game, you only have the steel arrows and the flame arrows. But now that I have the magic arrow, it's kind of throwing me off. So yeah, I need to get used to doing that. Now here, don't take the risk. It's not worth it. Use the if there are any stray dragonlings that have followed you throughout this room, use the flame arrow to take them out, and then fly across the gap. And it looks like I'm clear. So we're safe to land. And if at any point you get turned around and you don't know which direction you're trying to go, just remember that the way you came from doesn't have a torch. The way you're trying to go does have a torch. And I think those are my only tips for the section. Use the Dragon Wing to save yourself if you fall. Use the crossbow to take out any snipers from a distance and any dragonlings to follow you. And just remember, it's 4 seconds that you need to... It's 4 seconds between the time when the platforms reappear and the time when they disappear again. Keep all that in mind, and you should be able to get through that relatively unscathed. That and just memorizing the patterns of where the safe spots to land are, of course. Alright, this is the final gauntlet before we engage in the final boss, where they're going to throw every single enemy we've hit along the way at us. Or at least the major... I don't think they throw any Giddy Goons at us, but as far as major enemies are concerned, they're going to throw everything that we've ever seen our way. So, because it's an enemy gauntlet... For now, I want to keep the Dragon Spirit equipped. I still have one last mana potion, and I'm saving it for a very special reason. There's a very special reason why I want to save my last mana potion, because we're going to need it for a certain set of enemies. That's why it's also why I'm not using my my flame sword. But health is going to be key. Keeping our health at maximum is key. Okay, so here is what I want to use that mana potion for. Run to find yourself a safe space to hide, and then drink yourself a mana potion. If you take some health damage, that's fine, because we're going to be able to regain it soon enough. Now, we got to act fast here, because I wasn't as cautious with my mana as I would have liked to be. But as soon as you have your mana charged up from your potion, you want to equip the Dragon Flame. And what is this guy doing over here? It looks like he forgot that he had a battle to fight. That's fine. That's alright. Yeah, that's all you need the mana for right there, is to take out all the smithies. So I wish I had used my mana potion a bit earlier, and I hadn't been so careless earlier. But I needed to get my health at full, and we still made it work with the potion that I have. You may be curious as to why I'm so I'm so quick to seemingly waste all my mana potions before the final boss of the game. That I would never spoil for you. But there is a method to the madness. There's a reason why I'm rushing to use all my mana potions right here and right now instead of in the final battle. Okay, this is all crossbow. All crossbow work is what this is. If you want to use steel arrows, I think it's actually worthwhile to use steel arrows more so than magic arrows, at least to get their health down a little bit, because these guys take so many hits. Flame arrows are going to be very helpful with the final battle as well. So just get their health down a little bit with the steel arrows, and then use the flame arrows to finish them off. Don't hit me with your dragon breath. Can I use a steel arrow here? I probably can. Yep. Another set comes in. He didn't take any knockback damage there. That was weird. I expected him to actually get knocked back when I shot him with my steel arrows, but that did not happen. And there's another one back there. You can also use, if your mana is charged up enough, you can also use the Dragon Flame to kind of whirlwind sword attack him. In fact, I might actually, you know what, I'm going to try that. To save my arrows, I'm going to use the whirlwind sword attack to wipe them all out. Alright, I didn't get all of them, but I got most of them. And I just cleaned up the rest. One more time, we're going to use the Dragon Spirit to burn all of our mana, get our health up as much as it possibly can, and then charge up what's left of my health with our health potion. As you can see, I feel like I said, as you can see a lot throughout this video, mana is not that important to me anymore. I am kind of burning through all of it, and I'm burning through all of my essences that necessitate the use of mana, which is all of them, because all my essences require mana. And you'll see why shortly. You'll see why I don't really care as much that we're going into the final battle with an empty mana bar. But once you clear through all the enemies in the room, you can place the 2 mana cells on their stands and activate the final boss door.
Help me, Dirk! I'm trapped inside!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The portal to our final destination, where we are going to rescue Princess Daphne, defeat the final boss, and complete the game to 100%. And as tempting as it would be to go do that today, the final boss can be a bit of a task, so we're going to save that for the next video. So thank you all so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, stay tuned for next time, I hope to see you all soon for the final episode of Dragon's Lair 3D Return to the Lair. Goodbye!